Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense, but I try to keep it down and nitty-gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very important and not important to liberals, libertards, people on the far left, people social justice warriors. They just use emotion. They don't use logic and statistics. They don't use any facts. Okay, if you smoke, drink, you wear your nightshades at night or whatever, tattoos, okay? You just fit in with everybody else. You believe in Jesus, you believe in religion, you're not supposed to be watching my videos. Alright? Okay, going down the rabbit hole, not up your asshole. I'm the only realist motherfucking indigo on the internet. No sins, okay? And of course, you all are gods. So if you want to think of yourself as a sinner, start taking that out of your head. Take that spell out of your head, okay? So take that spell out of your head. You know Harry Potter. Okay, take that shit out of your head. Okay, you all are Jesuses. You can fix yourself. But we're going to talk about a topic for today. Today's topic will be, but if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast, you put it down below. Check out my credentials down below, who I am. There are a lot of millennials who will look at my shit and say, nobody listen to the old head anymore. I don't really care. I don't care for validation. I don't look for attention. I'm not trying to be like Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels. Even though I started certain trends, I don't really care about it, okay? I just want you to understand that it's a message in the madness, okay, all right? So, I want you, black folks, this is a message to black folks, so please stop calling every white person a racist. Don't do that. Though we know that there are whites who have ancestors, they're probably trying to fix it, okay? So you got to understand, not all white people are cursed. Not all white people don't have a heart, okay? Not all white people are like Hitler, okay? You got to understand that. You got to understand and use common sense. All right? When you have a bunch of white folks, okay, out there trying to say, hey, how am I racist for just me being white? When they're being asked, when they ask questions and they're called the racist because of the color of their skin, that is racist right there in itself, okay? Because they're white, you call them a racist. That sounds shallow as fuck. Okay? So I advise you guys to stop doing that because that's not good. That's not a good image on color, folks. Okay, especially the lower minorities who's thinking that they live in a slave mentality. You do not have a slave mentality. You were never a slave if you're living in America. No matter where you're at, if you're not a slave, please do not come into for counsel for me and thinking that you have a slave mentality. Because white folks help me more than black folks. So I don't know where this conundrum comes from. Like I have not heard of it. I would have been dead a long time ago if I encountered. As a matter of fact, I encountered some racists in the woods one time. And since I know that there's different genetic genomes that comes along with race, okay, white people admire black people, and black people admire white people in so many ways. The educated ones, by the way. I'm not talking about the ones who's emotional when they start thinking about Black Lives Matter. I went into the woods one day, right? He had shotguns and shit, okay? Now, I know they were racist because I heard them talk about the word nigga, we're going to string some nigga. But I went up in there because I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I thought it was like, slur words thrown around. But I was a child, okay? Because me, I have personality and character. I know that's one of the traits of black folks. Personality, charm, and character, okay? That's why they have to intermerge and intermingle and make cross gene babies just to have both of those genetic traits. Penis sizes and personality traits goes well with blacks. Okay, because I know I studied the genetics part rather than the human behavior part. Okay, I studied the pathology. I studied the origins of things. Okay, so I walked up into the woods one day. This happened in Clairton, Elizabeth, by the way. It was nothing but blonde-haired, blue-eyed devils out there, man. You want to call them that if you want. But that would be me calling them racist, okay? But, of course, I didn't believe all white folks were racist, okay? I knew that when I was a child. I said, hey, man, I kind of use common sense, okay? I'm like, wait a minute, isn't white folks who built this country? If white folks die in America, guess what's going to happen? America will fall harder than white on rice. Yes, it will. Yes, it's a fact. We're not even going to discuss. We're not going to dispute that. Even Jesse Peterson, okay, he said that we need more white babies, okay, because they're committing most of the suicides, okay, right? But anyway, let me get back to my story because I talk so fast sometimes. I went into the woods and I saw two white folks, and they were drunk too, and they had guns. So I came up behind them and shit, and they pulled their guns on me, and they had the light. They had a fire lit. Me, I had a big old coat on. Okay, and I look kind of weird, okay, because me, I like to walk in the dark in the woods because I'm an indigo child. Now, I said before, we're not going to discuss what an indigo child is. Most people are not indigo childs. A lot of people don't have any magic. They're not Jesus at all. They don't believe themselves as Jesus, so they're not indigo. So I woke up in the woods, and I saw them. I don't fear death, okay? So I walk into the woods, and they look at me like, what you doing out here, boy? They say, look what you doing out here, boy, like they was going to shoot. I put my hands up and say, hey, I'm friendly, okay? I'm friendly. What y'all guys doing out here? Say, you're a nigga up in here. What you doing back here, boy? What you doing back here? And I say, hey, man, hey, I don't want to be black. I don't want to be black. Don't shoot me. Me, I have a sense of personality and charm and comedic purposes. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't shoot me. But they had a whole bunch of fucking beers laying around. It was like really sloppy and everything like that. They said, hey, okay, come on out, okay? They had their guns pulled on me, okay? Both of them, okay? Both of them they had shotguns, dog. Okay. And so I got around and I sat down. He said, you sit right there. You sit down there. I said, what you doing way out here in this, boys? This woods, boys? What you doing? That's the way you talk. And I was like, well, hey, just looking for some friends. I like peace and quiet in the dark. So you sound like a strange nigga, man. They were saying the word nigga to me. And I was like, well, okay, at least I'm not a strange hunky. Okay, y'all sitting out here drinking. And they start laughing. We could blow your ass, the kingdom holes and chop your dick off and stick it in your mouth, right? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I hope you don't do that, okay, because that's going to be karma. But anyway, what you talking about, man? Because I'm like, what you doing out here? I didn't start no argument. I said, hey, I just want to see what y'all going through. I know people go through changes and stuff. I'm like a little psychologist, okay? So I like to talk, and we was giggling and glaggling, and they became my associates. But I know they were racist the day I knew I was born, okay? I said, trust me, man, not all blacks want to be black now here. We all the same fucking motherfucking person. Maybe I was white in my past life. And they would start laughing and shit like, yeah. You got to be careful with that. White folks have to understand what reincarnation is. They know what it is. They don't understand what quarks and physics is, all like that. They don't care about that. Especially the lower southern ones. I believe they were more southern because they had that accent to their voice. But I had lost their number and shit when I moved and shit. I was like, where's these guys at? They had garbage trucks and shit. Like they had old vehicles sitting around and stuff, and they lived there for many, many years. And this is when I moved to Century 3 Townhomes. Okay, you can look it up yourself. Century 3 Townhomes, Clairton, Elizabeth. It was mainly, when I first got out there, it was like blonde hair, blue eyes. They left their doors open. It was mainly blonde. Okay, I'm telling you right now, the streets was completely black. I never saw black streets like that. And eventually now it's destroyed. Now it's not as the same as it was. I'm just trying to tell you. But as I said before, in this video, not all whites have racial ancestors. They're not all cursed. There are some whites out there who believe that they should worship blacks because of all of the suffering that their ancestors did. But not all of them need to do that, okay? Because they're not at fault, okay? As a matter of fact, facts says that whites had whites in slavery too. Everybody had somebody in slavery. Because blacks are like one of the most forgiving race of all times. They're more emotional, okay, in a sense, than logical, okay? Blacks are more emotional than logical. Trust me on that. That's a fact, okay? So I can't communicate with most blacks. It's like you have to really you have to have that gene to, I have more of a white gene, okay? Because I said this before time and time again. I walk a little funny. I sound a little bit more, mature in my voice, and I sound astute. And I'm usually calling white on the phone. I'm like, are you white? And they, no, I just use the correct words. And I mix and mingle a little bit here and there. But I'm confused. I hear voices and shit, so I'm not really some ordinary white folk or black folk in this motherfucker, though. But anyway, I digress here. That's what my message is. And so, please, if you're emotional, understand the background history of people. Get the chance to know them personally before you start racist, okay? Or colorism. I know what colorism is now. When a black person judges another black person and say they're entitled and they don't get privileges because they think they're entitled, and same things, assumptions, okay? NPCs don't have a thought of their fucking own, okay? Non-playable characters, EDBs, emotional douchebags. But that's all I really got to say about that, okay, right? There are some racist white folks who will hurt you, and I used to be a personal care aide. I used to take care of some racist white folks, okay? And I learned a lot by using reverse dark psychology. I usually say, hey, I didn't ask to be motherfucking black, okay? Just say that. Even to a feminist. And say, hey, I hate all men. Say it. You'll start to learn something if you use some sort of manipulation. Other than that, I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. Peace.